Hello, I am going to talk GMO in foods today. So this can be a hot button topic that can cause a ton of debate. It can get super heated. And I want to just give some education around what are GMOs and where they can be found in food and what do you need to look out for. So this is my YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Dr. Patty Ford. And just to kind of give you a brief overview, GMOs are not in everything. So sometimes when I'm getting out my notes, sometimes when you are like shopping and it'll say GMO kitty litter or GMO whatever, that doesn't actually exist. So it's a marketing trick. So a lot of times food labeling is attached to food marketing. There is an overseeing of food labeling by the FDA where it has to have requirements. And there is some stipulations on what they can put on foods, but there's also some freedom that they can kind of market their food how they want. And I'm getting a lot of this from Dr. Joshua Miller's book, Peeling Back the Labels. It's a great overview of food production, food industry, and how it's connected briefly to health. The example that he provides is orange juice. Orange juice is made from oranges, mostly shipped from Florida. 95% of the oranges in Florida are made into juice. There is a marketing label that will say non-GMO oranges, but there are no oranges that are genetically modified, meaning there's been no altercation of the DNA sequence ever in oranges. But the food marketing label, people will buy it, say, great, I don't want GMOs because that's such a hot topic. So whether you agree with it or not, basic education, there are 10 foods now that have genetically modified versions for the luxury of food production. We are a hungry planet, and if we want to keep feeding the planet, the entire planet, food production is a big factor in economy and exports and how we have access to food. And so I live in the United States. I have access to food all the time, which is a good luxury. That's not the case everywhere else. So we're also a huge export of corn and wheat, and a lot of the world depends upon those exports to feed their citizens. So the 10 foods that are GMO, that are genetically modified, that are currently still being genetically modified are corn, soybean, cotton, then the canola, or sometimes rapeseed, but canola seeds, sugar beets, alfalfa, and mostly alfalfa that's fed to cattle, certain cattle. Papaya is actually an interesting one because it would have gone extinct from a pest that was in Hawaii, but GMOs actually saved the papaya. Different types of summer squashes, certain apples to prevent browning, and certain actually potatoes to prevent bruising. The World Health Organization, American Medical Association, the U.S. National Academic of Sciences, and the BRS, they all have come to the conclusion that genetically modified organisms are not significantly impacting health outcomes. That is 4 major organizations with a ton of professional scientific people that are coming out to date saying that it is okay for your health. So where is all this coming from? A lot of the political agenda, a lot of the journalism agenda is a lot of emotional, ideological beliefs and is not based upon sound science. They're 2 different things. I'm not saying one is different than the other, but sometimes in movements that are very emotionally charged are coming from emotion and not logic or sound science. So when you're making decisions in your health, being aware of, am I acting out of ideology or am I acting out of sound scientific proof? Because they're 2 different things. And it's okay whether you're acting out of the other, but to make claims that there is science when there's not, to date would be false. And that's also a marketing trick. Hope this helps, and follow along if you like some of this content. Okay, bye.